welcome. You're watching The Money Show. I'm Kavita Thapliyal, and today special on the show are your investment queries, where we will help you align all your investment strategies to your financial goals and looking at the current market structure and the weakness in rupee. How should you be going with your specific goals of your child education or maybe something to do with abroad and especially traveling, if at all that's lined up for you coming up in a few days. So let's elaborate on all of this and let's understand what's the right strategy for you. But just before that, if in case you want to send across any questions, you can do that on our WhatsApp number. We'll flash it on the screen, and also email ID, because this is the show where we help you navigate all the market volatility and also help you align with the right kind of investment instrument that's for you and for your life financial goals. Let's begin. I have with me Pankaj Mathpal, who will be helping you today with your investment portfolio. Pankaj, hi, evening. Welcome to the show. And Pankaj, a lot of development we are looking at in the markets. We will talk about specifics of the market later on. But the latest development is the weakness in the rupee that we are witnessing. So I would just request you that if at all there is any financial goal which is aligned to child education or maybe a travel, maybe we can just help our viewers, explain the price fluctuation in rupee. So let's take the first question. This is from Radhe Shyam. And Mr. Radhesham says that he's from Lucknow. He has 6 SIPs going on. Nippon India Small Cap, HDFC Mid Cap, SBI Contra, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, UTI Nifty 50 Index, SBI Balance Advantage Fund. So it's 9,500 per month that he's been investing. He's 36 years old. Target is 2 CR in 20 years. All right. So how would you like him to, balance out his portfolio equally across categories?
Kavita, good evening, and thank you very much for having me on the show. See, first and foremost, the important point whenever these viewers, investors, they set their target, they should factor in inflation. See, in this question, that Shasham has set a target of 2 crore, but after 20 years, if we assume 6% inflation, the value of 2 crore today will be something like 62 lakh rupees after 20 years from now. So that is why it is very important when you set a target, you should consider inflation in it. But still, if I just calculate that with the 95,000, that 9,500 rupees per month SIP at 12% CAGR, Shasham can expect around 87 lakh rupees in 20 years. Okay. But if he steps up by 10% every year, he can expect around 1 crore 78 lakh. So it's close to 2 crore, but not exactly 2 crore. But more important, what I mentioned, that with inflation, the value of 2 crore will not remain 2 crore rupees. So my suggestion that he should keep increasing his investment year after year in line with increment in his income. That is very important. Second thing, as far as portfolio is concerned, he has investment across market caps, mid caps, small cap, large cap, everything is there. Along with this, he also has a hybrid fund in his portfolio. So he can continue his SIP in these schemes. But Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund and HDFC Mid Cap Fund, which are diversified funds, he can increase SIP amount in these two schemes immediately if it is possible.
Okay. Perfect. So, very important thing. I think you started answering with that fact only, that rupee fluctuation and market volatility should be factored in aligning your goals. Now, Mr. Radhesham has specifically not mentioned about what financial goal, but then yes, he's given us a ballpark figure of 2 CR. Now, assuming that, this goal could be for any specific reason, could be for a foreign travel or education or anything specific where, the rupee or the currency impact will be witnessed. How would you like him to go about it? What should be the buffer amount, more or less how much should you be accounting in or factoring in to accumulate a particular corpus?
Exactly. See, 6% inflation we are assuming. Along with this, if your goal is like traveling abroad, children education abroad, then definitely you should factor in this also, that dollar rupee fluctuation. Because generally, especially if you are sending your children to US or in any country where the transactions are in dollar, then you have to be careful about this. And second thing, when we plan something as long as for 15 years, 20 years, we never know. But at that point in time, the children will go to US or any other country. But if you're planning for education, I'll say for every parent, because these days this trend is there that children are going abroad for higher education. So every parent, at least 10% inflation, because 6% we say general inflation. In education, we have seen this, that around 10 to 12% inflation in education. So that has to be there. Plus 4-5% you have to keep that difference between dollar and rupee. So that is why around 15% inflation you should consider if you are planning for children education in long
Okay.
time.
All right, that's an important update, for all those parents who are really tensed and stressed about the rupee depreciation. Now, this is a buffer amount that you need to plan on additionally. Might go heavy in your expenses right now. This will really tighten your pockets. But then, yes, something very important that you have to factor in now and later on as well. Let's move on. And Pankaj, let's take Mr. Rohit Rao's question. Now, he's doing SIP of 24,000. He's 34 years old and he wants to stay invested for at least 22 years. And he's been investing since last 1 year, and the route is SIP in mutual funds. Parag Parikh Flexi Cap 4,001 rupees, Kotak Multi Cap again the same amount. ICICI Pru Retirement, Pure Equity, Invesco India, Large and Mid Cap, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, and Bandhan Small Cap. So interesting, he's been doing 4,001 rupees SIP in all of these funds. There are about 6 funds, and 22 years, that's a decent amount of time for equity to give him growth, etc. But having said that, the fund mix can be slightly changed. I mean, I understand that he's also looking for retirement since he has included a retirement fund. But then, do we really need a retirement specific mutual fund to have a retirement goal in it?
Yes, see, first thing, 22 years is a long investment horizon.
Right.
For that, investing in diversified fund is a good idea. As far as solution-oriented fund is concerned, this Axis Prudential Retirement Fund, see, it is named as retirement fund, but there is nothing different. It is a diversified fund as well as a flexi cap fund. So he can stay invested. Only thing is that it means there's a lock-in of 5 years. So he has to keep in mind that if he's investing in this fund, it has to be aligned with his goal. That is simple. But as he has mentioned that he wants to invest for retirement, so it is okay that he keeps this fund in his portfolio. Now, important point, if again calculate at 12% CAGR, he can expect around 3 crore rupees in 22 years with 24,000 rupees SIP, which he's doing per month. But if he steps up by 10% every year, which I suggest to every investor when you're planning for long term, then he can expect around 6 crore rupees in 22 years. So step up should definitely be considered. Along with this, because in 22 years his income will increase by many folds. So as much as possible, he should keep increasing, because after 22 years, the 6 crore or 3 crore rupee, the value will not remain as 3 crore or 6 crore today. So 10% step up, that is not negotiable. Along with this, he should also try to increase his SIP amount as much as possible. Portfolio is good. His portfolio is well diversified. He should stay invested in these funds, and just to balance the portfolio. If he wants to add gold fund, and these days gold funds have become very popular also. So I thought I'll just add, if he wants to add one gold fund SIP in that, I mean, he can consider.
So, very interesting point. But listen, Pankaj sir, the point about gold is it's reached a high. I mean, do you think it makes sense putting money now?
SIP, I said. So SIP, anytime you start does not make difference, because if you're planning for 10 years, 20 years, so in 10, 20 years, many times market will go up, come down.
Right.
So he can start SIP. That's
So now gold funds also invest in gold ETF. Might as well buy a gold ETF.
Yeah, either gold ETF you can buy, or because SIP is easier in gold mutual fund than buying gold ETF. So that is why he's a SIP investor. I thought I'll suggest gold SIP in gold fund. It is as good as if he has a demat account, wants to invest in lump sum, he can invest in gold ETF as well. But yes, as you mentioned, that gold has reached at a peak. So lump sum amount does not mean that total amount what he has, he should invest in one go. He can invest in staggered manner. Otherwise, SIP of 2,000, 4,000 rupees, as he's doing another fund also, that will make better sense.
So gold something that you should be looking at, Rohit, and also 3 CR is something that, a ballpark figure that you will end up accumulating. Now, the question for you, Rohit, which you have to figure out is 3 CR the right amount for you? Do you think that will be enough for you? Because if this is your retirement portfolio and if 3 CR is not the figure that you need, then there is a rework that you need on aligning your financial goals or maybe your investment strategies also. But for now, funds are really good. You need to step it up and you need to add some gold in your portfolio. The glitter of gold, that's the need of the hour. But then let's move on. Pankaj sir, this question is from Pankaj Sisodia from Kolkata. He's 36 years old. Investment time horizon is 10 years. 1 CR is the target. Portfolio value is almost 1.45 lakh. He's an aggressive investor and he needs money for his daughter's education. Here, I think we should really highlight the currency play because he is now planning for his daughter's education. So very important for him to factor in the currency volatility. Bandhan small cap 7,000, Motilal Oswal mid cap 5,000, Parag Parikh flexi cap 5,000, Kotak multi cap 5,000. He wants to increase the SIP to 35,000 and highest return and best return is what his expectation is. Interesting, Pankaj, and thank you so much for sending us your question, and it is very aligned with your financial goal as well. At least you have the clarity that you need 1 CR in 10 years for daughter's education. Now, looking at the currency fluctuation, how much 15% buffer now and increase the investment also by that amount, Pankaj sir?
Yeah. See, first thing, very important that he was planning 1 crore rupee today. Now, if 1 crore he needs in today's term, it means if we take 15%, as I said, 12%, 10%, general inflation in education plus 4-5% extra. So 15% if we assume, it means every 5 years the cost will double. So in 10 years, it means he needs 4 times of that. If 1 crore today really he needs, it means he should plan 3 to 4 crore rupees after 10 years. That is very, very important. But yes, I know that may not be possible for everybody. Like somebody is planning 1 crore. Now I tell him he should aim to accumulate 4 crore rupees. But yes, loan is possible, but as much as possible, but not at least 1 crore. You can increase it to 2 crore rupees or whatever possible. That is most important. Because inflation is going to remain there. But I do not know whether he wants to send his children to abroad or he wants in India only. That is another thing. But yes, for every parent, when we are looking at this rupee depreciation, we have to understand that one has to factor in this in their financial goal. That is very, very important. And if I assume 12% CAGR, then with the 1,45,000 rupees, what he has accumulated by now and 35,000 rupees per month SIP, he can expect around 83 lakh rupees after 10 years. And if he steps up by 10% every year, then we can expect around 1 crore 20 lakh rupees. So step up must be considered. And as I said, that he will need more than 1 crore rupee if he consider inflation. So he should try to increase his SIP as much as possible. One more question was there, Kavita, you mentioned that he wants to know what minimum and maximum. So right. I cannot tell that what minimum maximum returns can be expected from mutual fund. There is returns are not guaranteed. But looking at the historical performance from the equity market and especially Nifty 50 or Sensex, so we always assume around 12% return because in market in last 20 years or 10 years have grown at that kind of CAGR. So if you are investing in equity, keep your expectation around 12%. As it all depends that what kind of returns you will be able to generate. So I cannot say whether minimum, maximum, that will not be possible to say anything on that. Second thing, as far as portfolio is concerned, is he has invested in all mid cap, small cap majorly. So portfolio is aggressive. But because he has mentioned that he is an aggressive investor, so well, you can stay invested with these funds. But my suggestion that if you can increase your allocation to Parag Parikh flexi cap fund, then it will be means the portfolio will become little more stable.
All right, so that's the homework that you have to do, and definitely, very important. You've thought about your daughter's education. Yes, it's a very crucial goal for parents, but also with that, you must be having your retirement goals and other goals which you can really have an investment strategy for. Just in case you want to send across more questions or more alignment of your portfolio for those crucial goals, you can send across your questions on our WhatsApp number and email ID. It's time for a short break, and post that, let's continue your question and answer session. Let's move on. Let's take Harjeet Singh's question. Then he is writing from Punjab. 39 years old, 1 CR in 10 years, and he seems to be a fan of ICICI Pru AMC. Okay, and just as I can count, there are five ICICI Pro AMC funds. He's got an energy fund, small cap, multi asset, equity debt fund, and India opportunity. Apart from that, he's got one Parag Parikh Flexi Cap. He's got large and mid cap of Kotak and Nippon India Nifty Mid 150 index fund, and total SIP is going on 27,000 per month. Okay, very interesting. And Mr. Harjeet, although the schemes from ICICI Pru, it's definitely a very good AMC, one of the largest AMC of the country. And the funds also that you've picked up are really good, especially a multi-asset. They were the first one to come up with this category as well. But do you really need so many funds of one particular AMC? Now, there are two parts of this to this question. Pankaj sir, first choosing an AMC and having a portfolio heavily dominated by one AMC, and second, so many schemes, and apart from that, you also have a large and mid cap, and you also have a flexi cap, you have a different multi asset in India opportunity. So it's scattered and very over diversified in terms of AMCs and concentration in AMC and diversification in his investments.
Kavita, I agree with you. First thing, for 27,000 rupees SIP, keeping 8 funds in portfolio is not the ideal thing. Second thing, out of that, 5 funds are from ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. I agree with you that the second largest AMC in the country, and they have means multiple fund managers strategies. But still, my suggestion is that you should not have this kind of concentrated risk. You should invest across different AMCs. That should be the strategy. So he should definitely consider reducing fund from one single AMC. Again, first let's come to the target that what he has set and what he can expect. So with the 12% CAGR in 10 years with 27,000 rupees SIP per month, he can expect around 60 lakh rupees. And second thing, to achieve his goal, because he wants 1 crore rupees in 10 years, so he should step up his portfolio by 12% to 18% every year. Then it is possible at 12% CAGR. As we said that his allocation in ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund is too much, means 5 schemes. So my suggestion, one thing, ICICI Prudential Energy Opportunities Fund, which is a thematic fund, and he wants to invest for 10 years, he can consider cancelling his SIP in this scheme, and he can increase his SIP amount in ICICI Prudential Multi-Asset Fund. Two schemes, I'll say. One is ICICI Prudential Energy Opportunities, and second is ICICI Prudential Equity and Debt Fund. He can cancel his SIP in two schemes and should increase SIP amount in ICICI Prudential Multi-Asset Fund. So portfolio will be balanced. That is important. Debt allocation will still be there through this multi-asset fund, which he was otherwise getting from equity and debt fund. And second, the number of funds will get reduced. And thematic fund means because he's investing for long term, so that can be skipped. So out of these 8 funds, he will have only 6 funds in his portfolio that can be better for his long term goal.
All right, so that's the solution for your portfolio, and yes, a lot of realignment that you need, and a lot of revamping, and no concentration over here. So the funds that you have asked him to exit, should he be removing the entire amount now, or should he just stop investing and let the amount be there for now?
Yeah, let the amount be there. The reason is that because he is doing SIP, so there may be exit load applicable on the investment what he invested recently. Second thing, short-term capital gain tax may also be applicable. So considering that fact, and schemes are not that bad, means that he needs to exit immediately. So he should stay invested, whatever has been accumulated in that. Okay. But future SIP can be cancelled.
Perfect. Let's take Pramod's question, and he's writing from Pune, and he wants to invest for next 23 years. He's been investing since last 2 years. He's got ICICI large and mid cap, flexi cap, HDFC, Nippon multi cap, SBI mid cap, Kotak small cap. His target is 5 CR in 23 years, and 20 lakhs is what his investment amount is. He's also investing 27,000 per month. SBI Midcap, he's been investing in, but not very happy with the returns. That is what he has to say, and he wants to know if he can really change that allocation to a better fund. So, okay, so Pramod, again, a good amount of time frame, 23 years, but his SIP amount needs to be stepped up if he wants to accumulate or achieve the goal of 5 CR.
Exactly. See, first thing, Kavita, I do not have that question, so the information I do not have. But what you mentioned just now, first
Okay.
thing, let's talk about this SBI mid cap fund you said, right? See, SBI mid cap fund for quite some time is not performing as expected, but yes, it's an old fund and performance has been very good. I expect that any big AMC, see, when investors think that scheme is not performing well, so they should also consider that fund house will also make some changes in that. I feel that the investor, if they have already invested in this fund, whether Pramod or anybody, can stay invested, and I'm expecting that the performance will improve. Right now, because we have seen, especially in mid cap, that good correction. So not only that SBI mid cap, all the funds have shown negative returns. So as far as SBI mid cap fund is concerned, he can stay invested. Now coming to 5 crore target, that definitely means what amount you said. It looks very difficult. He'll have to increase. Even it's not possible with a 10% step up in this period. So either he has to increase the number of years to achieve that goal, or then he has to reduce the amount what he's targeting. Otherwise, means the amount what he needs to invest, he'll have to increase it by a large amount.
All right, I think with that it's time up, and yes, quite a detailed answer to Mr. Srinivas Rao, and all the best with that for your investments in future. And with that, it's a wrap on the show as well. Thank you so much, Pankaj, for being on the show and helping our viewers strategize their investment portfolio today. Thank you so much. And with that, it's time to sign off, but I'm going to leave you with our WhatsApp number and email ID. Goodbye.